Hello everyone. Today I'm just going to kind of go over a few things to kind of help you to see what we've been doing and where we're going, especially since you're going to have a quiz soon tomorrow over this. But basically when you're given something and they tell you to factor it, what they want you to do is go through these steps every single time. We have only gone over the first two steps, which is to look to see if there's a GCF and then the difference of squares. The next two parts or steps that we're going to go over is whenever the first term in the polynomial is x squared, and that means that there's only a 1 in front of it, and then also when it's greater than 1. And we're going to be doing that later on this week. Okay, so on this first one, you have to ask yourself, you go through the steps every single time. Is there a GCF? Well, yes, they both have a 3. They both have at least an a squared and a b. So that is the GCF. You pull that out and put that underneath so that you can divide both of them by that. Whenever you're done, you're going to have a -1 or just a negative, however you want to say it, plus 2, because that's how many times it can go in, a, and then you're going to have a b left over. Okay, so you've got to have this placeholder here so that it's showing that if you multiply this times that, you're going to get a -3a squared b plus 6a to the third b squared. So it's just this big cycle. Okay, so let's do another one. Right here, GCF. Okay, well, it's going to be 4. It's going to be x to the third. So you're going to divide both of these by 4x to the third. When you do that, you're going to have 2y squared plus 1. Okay, even though that you think that these cancel out, you've got to have a placeholder there because when you go back and check it, you need to make sure that that's there. Okay, then right here, again, GCF, 5. They can all go into 5, and that's it. This guy has a B, but this one doesn't. They have to all have it in order for it to be a greatest common factor. So then you're just going to divide everything by 5, and you will end up keeping those exponents. Okay, here, what are we going to do? We're going to look for a GCF. Well, this one has 3y, and they all have a squared in them. So you're going to divide everything by 3y squared. I myself like to write this underneath here just because it helps me to mentally say, oh, that's where, I can divide that. Now this is y to the 5th, and this is 4, and this is 3, okay, which is actually 9y to the 5th plus, oh, wait, I'm sorry, I just totally messed up. I forgot. I was like, why are those the same? I forgot what? An x right here. So that's why it was going to change everything around. Okay, so you just got to be careful with that and, make mistakes. That's all right. All right, and then this one's a little bit more, you got to look at a bunch of stuff, but they all have a 4 that they can go into, an M and an N. So again, it helps me so much just to write this down. And you're like, I don't want to write it down 4 times, but it is going to help you tremendously. So then you say, okay, how many times can that go in there? Which is going to be a -8. And then you're going to have n to the 7th plus m to the 5th plus 3 n to the 3rd plus 4. And that'll be your final answer. Okay, so those are all differences of squares. Now, sometimes you have to do both. And in these two cases, you don't because they don't have a common factor. But if you did, you would have to take that out first. But here what you're saying is what times what is going to give you 16n squared. So you're going to have 4n and 4n. What times what's going to give you -9? And that's going to be a +3 and a -3. Same thing here, 2m plus 5 and 2m minus 5. And then on these are a little bit more, so that's why I wanted to make sure that I showed you. Again, you go through the same steps. Is there GCF? Yes. These both have 10p. Okay, so I'm going to divide this by 10p. And when you're done, you're going to have p squared minus 196. Now you start all over. Self, is there a difference of squares here? Because I just took out the GCF. Yes, it is. So this is actually p plus 14. I had to think for a second. And p minus 14. And then you keep the GCF there. So all I did was take it from this part and break it down again. Same thing here. Okay, what can both of these go into? They can both go into 7, and they can both go into, they both have a b squared. So you're going to take that out, 7b squared, 7b squared. Okay, well, self, how many times can 7 go into 343? And that is going to be 49, right? Let me just check myself here. Okay, yeah, that's right. 49 minus b squared. Now, this is also a difference of squares. So I'm going to break this down and do 7 plus b, 7 minus b. Now, I still need to bring down my GCF. This is the final answer. Just like this is also the final answer. If you leave a difference of squares in there, it's not completely factored. So I hope this helps and give you some practice, and then I would suggest rewatching this later tonight. Have a great and fabulous day.